Amy, thanks so much for your time today. Now, can you give me one short sentence summarising CREATE in layman's terms, if you would?
Sure. Yeah. So CREATE stands for Centralized Recruitment and Employment of the Allied Health Talent.
Mm-hmm.
It's an exercise that we aim to build up a pool of qualified allied health professions, such as the physiotherapies, the occupation therapies, and as well as speech therapies, to be ready to perform independently with the healthcare sectors, such as operating at the community hospitals and nursing homes,
Mm-hmm.
and also the daycare centres.
And how are you going to actually recruit these healthcare professionals?
Well, as a start, we're going to work with the existing pool of, we call them the allied health professions. We want to qualify them to be able to perform independently at the community hospitals and also at the nursing homes. And that can be done through a 1 year on-the-job training qualification, which we are going to provide them with adequate supervisions by
Mhm.
experienced allied health professions. The aim is really to build up a pool of qualified people in time to support the community hospitals and the nursing homes.
And I guess you've also got to match wages. I mean, you know, it must be difficult to convince people to work in the caring profession because it's, I mean, the salaries are so low usually.
Yeah,
So how do you do that?
Definitely, I think definitely we have to look at how we can enable them to stay in this particular career, and while compensation is one of the important factors to look at how we can develop and retain them, but we also look at how we can provide them a better career development opportunity within this particular professions.
But in this day and age, I mean, you've got to admit, you know, with soaring food prices and working in 2011, you've actually got to be able to attract them through higher salaries. Do you have the money to do that?
Yeah, well, at the moment, we are really looking at how we can actually help them to attract this group of allied health professions, be it the local and even the foreign. And that is done through means of aligning their compensation overall, and also providing them a set of holistic career development pathway, so that they see coming to this particular career not just because of compensation, but also opportunity to grow within the sector.
It's got to be quite a good carrot, though. But I mean, if you do say pay them quite significant higher salaries, I mean that will translate into higher costs for elder care.
I mean, indirectly, perhaps that might be as a start, where people will find that that cost might increase. But if we look at the overall the quality of, or if we look at the population which we are aging at the moment, I would say that there's a need for having qualified and independent pool of allied health professions to really support this patient care, particularly care where it's needed at the community hospitals and the nursing homes.
I can understand that bit, but I mean, if it just was high cost though, is there some way that, I mean, if you are going to pay them higher salaries, is there some way that you can offset those high costs for elder care in the future?
Well, just as in any other services, we pay for to get a better service. I wouldn't say that by doing that, that will increase the cost overall, but I'm just saying that with the intention to build up a pool of qualified allied health professions, that would enable us to have a more efficient and better healthcare for the patients.
Okay. So what do you think, I mean, if you look at Singapore society, what do you think needs to change for AIC's work to become successful? I mean, is there things like, I don't know, does the healthcare system need to change, for example?
Well, I would say that AIC is playing a very important role these days, where we play the role as a facilitator to support how the healthcare patient care can be provided in a more holistic and integrated way. As we look at, as I said just now, with the aging population, I think more can be done where AIC played a role, where we ensure that internally we have competent people, and also at the institute itself, the care providers, the institutions, where we have a team of competent and also readily available resources to provide.
Are you going to have to get those from overseas? I mean, what's the the realistic thing of actually getting from within Singapore?
Yeah. Well, there will be a need to get some, I call it talent from the overseas. But at the same time, we also know that I think Singapore, in terms of resources, increasingly the people are more attracted to this particular area where they see themselves as a career opportunity within the healthcare. I would say that it's a continuous effort where we help to attract people into the healthcare. We grow the existing pool of people to be more competent and to be able to be ready to deal with this integrated healthcare solutions.
Because of course there's not so many young people around. I mean, there is a declining birth rate, of course, in Singapore, and if you're looking to the future, when the young people are looking after the elderly, what about maids though? I mean, do we need more? I mean, are maids part of the problem? Are they the solution?
I can't really comment about maids, I mean, maids, domestic maids, and here we are talking about healthcare. I can't really comment too much on that. But if you are talking about in terms of healthcare supply, that's where you are talking about. Yeah, I'm sure I would say it's an issue, it's a concern, where every other businesses are facing, in terms of supply of adequate manpower. And Singapore being a very small country, I mean, I'm sure we have to strike a balance, where the resources can come from, and how, as the government has also talking about, having more permanent residents and foreign talents continue to be in Singapore to contribute to the society.
So how much, when you look at Create, I mean, how much is being invested in Create? How much money? What's it cost to set up?
Can I just say X dollars?
a few million, or just benchmark figures, fine.
Sure. If we talk about investment, I mean, here we are talking about developing, getting ready, having a pool of people who are ready to work independently and support the healthcare. Yeah, definitely there's a need for some investment. And
so 20 million?
Am I supposed to say this?
just a ballpark figure. I mean, it's in interest of my readers to know exactly what doesn't have to be exact, but within the range of.
Yeah, it's in the range of 5 to 10 million.
5 to 10 million, great, okay. And you see that money will be used obviously to attract talent, but how else will that money be invested?
It's about developing our existing pool of allied health professions, and also as we bring in the new allied health professions, there's a need for us to train them. Yeah. Okay.
Are you working with the WDA to sort of attract new talent?
We work closely with WDA with regards to skills development. We also work closely with various other partners with regards to attractions and, like the institutions. How do we attract the young graduates who graduated with a healthcare degree or qualification to join the sector? Yeah.
So you're aggressively going out to universities to...
We are proactively working with various partners. Yeah.
Okay, Amy, fantastic. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.